Well, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Ben. How are you?
Well, I'm as good as can be expected. How are you?
I'm relatively okay. Yeah.
Good. I mean, are we going to address the elephant in the room here, John?
The elephant on our heads.
Well, the elephant on your head, that's for sure. What's going on there?
Well, just before the show, I looked at the camera and thought, what the hell is going on with my hair? So I put my hat on.
Yeah, we can see that. Look, there's your hat.
What's wrong with that?
You've got it on back to front like you're a 90s teenager. I'm half expecting you to go, cowabunga, dude!
I am a 90s teenager. Look at me. Look at my youthful appearance.
Oh, dear. Well, good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, wherever you are, whenever you are watching, and those of you who are watching live, I see some of you in the chat there, so hello.
National Hat Day.
Yeah, it's National Hat Day, why not, you know? I just thought, it's spooky season, I'll wear me spooky bellhop hat. But,
but it's not really, it's not very spooky. In fact, the Tower of Terror is not terribly spooky.
No, it's not, but it's a cool hat.
Yeah.
I like the hat.
They could have done more with the theming, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could have done. But you know, it's a good old. It's a fun experience. It really, really is. So, John,
Ben,
introduce the show.
Welcome, one and all, to this Chasing Dissent Live, episode 144.
Ooh, spooky!
It just gives me the shivers.
Ooh, spooky indeed. We've got delivering liberty in the chat there. Sean says, "Cowabunga, fellow dudes." Cowabunga to you too, as well.
Cowabunga.
Yes.
Oh no, bloody hell! Now I'll get. Oh my God, he's made devil horns. He's a Satanist.
You shouldn't have done that, John. You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, what can I just don't know what. Oh, woe is me. Oh no. Oh my God. I don't know how to do it. Oh, good grief. What's going on?
John.
Ben.
I'm not even going to mess about. We're gonna hit the ground running, and we're gonna go straight in with the news of the day. So, what do you have for us today?
Right. Well, we've got to start where everybody else has, and that's with Boris.
Yes, Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. Let's get his name right.
Yes. Let's get his name right. Bring back Alex. So, do you think they will bring back Alex? I mean, we've discussed this before. At that point, we, in fact, if you want to go to the, have you been to the first slide yet?
Yeah, we're on it right now.
If you want to go to the second slide,
okay.
you could play that and have a shameless bit of self-promotion.
Is this going to work? Is this actually going to work?
Yeah, it should do.
Let's play it.
Go on, try it.
It's not working, John. No, it's not working, John.
Oh, press play.
I've pressed play several times. I'm hitting play right now. Click. Not working, John.
Right, there's something wrong with you. Your play's fine here.
No, not working, John.
Well, then you have a technical issue. Your laptop is
Hold
not
on.
working properly.
Hold on.
Because the slide is there.
There it is.
Sunaka as a caretaker.
They're going to install him.
Well, then they're fucking sunk.
Well,
Yeah,
could you
but-
start
Rishi
playing at the
Sunak,
beginning?
Rishi Sunak will sink the country.
Do you want me to play it again, John?
Well, play it from the beginning,
I'll play it from the beginning. Here we go.
I don't believe it will happen, but the only way they pull this back is if they bring back Boris.
But you know
But
what?
I could see them. I could see them pulling it back if they brought back Boris, because people loved him.
Yeah, but I
You know,
just
regardless of what you thought of him, people loved him.
yeah, but I just simply don't see Liz Truss. I don't think she's going to survive to Christmas.
Okay, well then you can't put Rishi Sunak in as a caretaker.
They're going to. They're going to install him.
Well then they're fucking sunk.
Yeah,
Rishi Sunak will sink the country.
you're right, John. Rishi Sunak will sink the country.
That was the SS Great Britain, just heading down and down.
Boo, boo.
We're on a one-way ticket to the abyss.
But no, in answer to your question, John, no, I don't think they can install him. Well, so as we know, a majority of the Tory party members polled want him back and want her gone. I don't know if it's in the list, but we've seen tweets this morning from Dan Hodges saying he has it on good authority that the threshold of letters for her
Yeah, I saw that.
vote
But
of no confidence are in.
yeah, but he's wanting half. He's wanting half the MPs to say it before he'll take any action. That's the allege.
So if that is true, though, Graham Brady's simply changing the rules on the fly by himself.
Well, don't they do that anyway? Isn't that the done thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was okay. I mean, they did that all through the last 2.5 years. They just changed the rules on the fly, on a whim, if you will.
Absolutely.
You know, do this. Oh, don't do that. Do this. Oh, let's do this again. Let's start this and let's finish that off. Yeah, why not?
No, you're absolutely right. These people have been making it up as they go along. They are absolutely shameful at this point, and this is why I always say we can't trust any government, right?
We can't.
We
mate.
can't
You're
at this
right.
point, because what's going to happen? I can already see it now. We instead of an installation of Boris Johnson, there's going to be a general election. There's going to be a general election. There has to be at this point. Maybe Liz Truss won't call one. I believe she now can arbitrarily call one. I don't know, but Labour's gonna win if we have a general election, and it's just gonna be more of the same. We're all gonna be screwed. We're all going down with the ship anyway. So what changes?
Yeah, nothing much. Nothing
Exactly.
much.
It might change. It might change. The occupant of number 10 might change, but your life, my life, we still haven't got a pot to piss in. The people watching this won't have a pot to piss in. Nobody's going to do anything for us. They're all just self-serving narcissists, the bloody lot of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of self-serving narcissists, let's move on to Just Stop Oil, shall we, John?
Yeah. So they're down.
Yeah,
So
they came down last night. didn't they?
Morgan and Marcus. Fucking hell.
Persephone and Tarquin. Did Persephone and Tarquin help them down?
Yes, I guess so. I mean, they have rejoined. I mean, it's just these guys are so freaking dense. It's just pathetic. After a successful 37-hour occupation of a bridge.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed either, because
I'm not impressed with anyone involved in this shit show. I'm not impressed with them. I'm not impressed with the people that failed to take any action. I'm not impressed with the police who shut down the bridge. I'm not impressed with... well, in fact, I am impressed. I am impressed with the people who used the fireworks.
Oh yeah, they have my solidarity. And speaking of solidarity, Delivering Liberty says in the chat that he has turned his baseball cap backwards in solidarity for you, John.
Right on, brother.
But no, these people, they are middle class. To borrow a phrase from the recently incarcerated Alex Belfield, champagne sipping, Guardian reading types.
Yeah.
They don't know what reality is. They can afford London rents, or they've got houses in London. Mummy and Daddy have paid for everything. These people have never been told no. And they're looking for some kind of meaning in their life. And what happens is they fall into cults. And unfortunately, this cult sends them to go and sleep hanging off a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems to be that until you develop the mindset of questioning everything, then you tend to believe what people tell you.
Yeah.
Stupidly in most cases.
Absolutely.
But people do tend to generally believe what they're told, and they'll watch things like that clown Attenborough on TV and stuff like that.
Yes.
Who is now a pitiful figure as he tries to brainwash people about climate change on his latest program. But you'll believe what he's saying, and then if you actually stop and think about it, and then do just a little bit of your own digging, you suddenly realise these people have all got their own agenda, and they're not necessarily telling me the truth.
My name is David Attenborough, and
you've
the climate is changing.
You've got to turn around, and you've got to pick out your own stories, and that's something that maybe our next topic doesn't do. He doesn't pick out his own stories, does he?
Do tell, John, do tell.
Well, someone made a tweet about him not retweeting them, but just stealing their words and putting them out as his own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's opened the floodgates. See the amount of people that have been exposing him for things he's done before. For instance, like taking this cartoon and repurposing it for his own needs without giving the creator of the cartoon any recognition whatsoever.
James has never given us any recognition for the ideas he steals 3 hours later.
Yeah, I know. So I just wonder if he'll mention climate change and David Attenborough today.
We shall see, won't we? The climate change cult.
And I mean, he'll need to stay away from it. But he's upset. Well, I mean, and the next slide shows you another incident where, you know, the original tweet had gone unrecognised, and then suddenly James doesn't retweet it. That's the thing. He doesn't retweet stuff. He copies it and then puts it out as his own.
Yeah, well, we know
and
that.
That's called plagiarism.
Yeah, well, I guess imitation/plagiarism is the sincerest form of flattery.
It may well be, but it is quite annoying because as the next person I think says, he's got a megaton of followers.
Yep.
And I'm not saying this tweet is completely about James, but it could well be.
Yep. So it says, you've got a megaton of followers and you read yesterday something has been a decade or more in research. And so rather than sharing that work for the benefit of the person who produced it, you pass its discoveries off as your own. Well, the thing is, he's involved in an organisation called the Together Declaration, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I used to really like these people, but the more that I looked into it.
Yeah, I see. I never take to these things because.
Well, no, I didn't take to the organisation, but some of the people involved, like Alan at the top of it, I've met him several times. I've met many others involved with it, but seeing some of the behaviours, like they've got an event coming up talking about Klaus Schwab and the WEF, and yet when people previously asked them to, you know, comment on or come and help them with their event when it came to talking about Klaus Schwab and the WEF, these Together people turned around back then and said, no, that's a conspiracy theory, we don't want nothing to do with that. Now they've got their own event about it. Now, not only that, let's talk about the people at the head of their organisation's stance on vaccine passports. They said they told us it was a conspiracy theory. It would never happen. They said, no, don't. We're not getting involved with that, whilst we were trying to sound the alarm about those. And then all of a sudden, they're the champions of it, and they're the ones that defeated it. I think not.
I don't think they did.
No, but
but they claim they did, yeah.
Yeah, and then they charge people a butt ton of money to come to these events. £25 a ticket, this one about the WEF that's coming up. And pass, as you say, people's own ideas and research off as their own. And I'm just calling it as I see it. And, you know, this is not really a slight on the people themselves because, well, the people themselves can come and talk to us. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind having that conversation with them at all. But this is what I'm seeing. And I'm calling it as I'm seeing it. You're charging people money. I mean, at one point they were charging people like £2,000 for a lifetime membership to their organisation. What's that all about? And what does their organisation even do? What does it even do?
Hey, I'm quite happy to charge people a shit ton of money for lifetime membership to our organisation.
Yeah, but at least we're giving them some kind of entertainment, right?
Well, we try. We
try.
Although, I mean, someone on Twitter today said, they said something along the lines of, could you send me some timestamps and then I'll have a look at this and see if it's worth my time watching it? And I'm thinking to myself, fuck off. Go and watch TikTok.
Come and enjoy
You're a
it.
knob. If you can't fucking spend the time to bother watching a decent show, go and watch TikTok. Fucking send me some timestamps and tease me. You know, because I dipped into it and all I saw was some pedestrian and pretty lame self-promotion. You know what? Fuck off to TikTok. We don't want you.
Hey, we've got a TikTok as well, John.
Yeah, I know, but our TikTok stuff is just the same as this, basically, right?
So
It's not like we're fucking throwing things in people's faces all the time.
So I want to address the chat at the moment because there's some comments coming in the chat, specifically from Delivering Liberty. Says there is something controlled about Together. Currently looking into it. There's a loose connection with Big Brother Watch. Someone else who are currently sending out an email saying they're quite stretched. Big Brother Watch, who raised £250,000 to fight vaccine passports, but now they're stretched. Okay, very very odd that.
Yeah.
But Big Brother Watch also, as Sean says, factually funded in part by George Soros. That's also appears to be the case, yes. And then he goes on to say that the recent Together event he went to, Claire Fox stated the WEF isn't something to worry about. Now they're doing a paid-for event all about it, calling it something to worry about. I'm just...
Well, I mean, at this point in time, what the hell can you really say? Because these people are all so fucked up that you've got no hope. You have no hope. You know. I mean, the WEF is a monumentally screwed up organisation that's just out to feather the nest of those that have money and have power just now. It's of no consequence to the little man. They don't really want that many people around. They'd rather have robots build everything and Amazon delivered their stuff in flying drones that didn't involve actual delivery people. So yeah, I mean, the WEF do not have anyone's interests at heart other than themselves and their corporations that support them.
Yes, no, do you know what? I would actually go a little bit further and say that the organisations to which we are talking about ultimately, it feels to me like that's their ultimate goal, is to enrich themselves and screw everybody else. It's unfortunate, really, because, you know, these organisations, they've come out of nowhere, really. Like Big Brother Watch has been around a while, but other organisations have come up out of the so-called freedom movement, have made a boat ton of money out of the so-called freedom movement, and once again I ask, what do they actually do? What do they do? I mean, I don't know. Is the answer? I don't know. But one thing they do, and we'll go back to Melville, is they plagiarise a lot. And we have fallen victim to that many times with this group of people. I'm just saying. You right there, John?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on, mate.
To Kari Lake. Is that Kari Lake?
Yeah, let's listen to Carrie because she makes some good points here. Is that okay?
Yeah, here we go.
I'm actually shocked you asked that question.
Well,
Actually, answer.
I have to give you a tough one once in a while.
You know, I did a little. Actually, Anthony, how old are you?
20.
Are you a journalist?
No.
Well, you did better research than half these people. Let's talk about election deniers. Here's 150 examples of Democrats denying election results. Oh wow, look at this. This is from Joe Biden's press secretary. Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial election from Georgians and Stacey Abrams. Democrats saying that. Is that an election denier? Oh, look at this. Just heard Republican Ryan Costello said it would be difficult for Stacey Abrams to win because she lost her state bid, but yet she's still claiming she never lost. This is outright. Hillary Clinton. Trump is an illegitimate president. Is she an election denier? This one says, was the 2016 election legitimate? It now definitely is a question worth asking. That's the Los Angeles Times. So it's okay for Democrats to question elections, but it's not okay for Republicans. It's a crock of BS. Every one of you knows it. We have our freedom of speech, and we're not going to relinquish it to a bunch of fake news propagandists. If you want a copy of these, I'm
few
sure
so-called
that
journalists out there
Anthony
who
would help
pick
you
up
get
a
a
few
copy
things
and help
from
you learn how to
listening
be.
her.
Pardon?
There's a few so-called journalists out there who could pick up a few things by listening to her.
There is indeed. I mean, she's been based this entire time, hasn't she? She's been trying her best to call out opponents. She tries to have debates. Nobody wants to debate her. She's, I think she's on track to win.
Indeed.
And she should well be, I think. Now, before we do move on, if you're enjoying the show, then please leave a like. We would really appreciate that, no matter what platform you're on. I don't know if you can like on Twitch, but if you're not subscribed, then why not? Then please subscribe. And if you want to go one further, you could support us, and you could do so at patreon.com/chasing dissent, or ignore the subscribe star link for now. The other one is kofi.com/chasing dissent. For some reason that link has got some numbers on the end of it. Ignore that. So it's ko-fi.com/chasing dissent. And if you do support on Kofi during the show, you can write a little message, and you see this little blue bar down below me. It will pop up there during the show, and it will speak your message, which could be very dangerous, but there we go. It's there.
We're prepared to take that risk. If you pay us money, we are prepared to take the risk.
We are. We will do that for you and for your entertainment and for our entertainment ultimately. But let's move on.
Yes, let's do move on. And Ukraine are really pissing me off a bit just now because they are such sanctimonious gits. You know, they're still asking for money.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we just did?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But we need money to live.
Yeah,
we need
to keep the lights on, and they're getting billions of pounds from this, there, and everywhere every day. We're asking for a couple of quid.
And they're now get the cheeks in. They're writing to Israel because they demand the Iron Dome, and yeah. Well, why don't you help them out, Israel? Why wouldn't you? You know, because it's not like they have an affinity for certain World War II emblems. It's not like they do anything like that. So help them out, Israel. You know, I mean, and they've now got this big thing where they've designated Russia a terrorist regime. Okay, and this comes from the country, right? That was the most corrupt in Europe.
Yep.
Is one of the top 3 producers and peddlers of child pornography in the world.
Unfortunately.
Yep, and that's a fact. You can check that YouTube if you like. That's a fact. Has an appalling human rights record, particularly against its women, its own citizens. Persecutes Romanis and Gypsies by usually tying them to lampposts and painting their faces.
We've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. And acts as the world's laundry basket, a la Hunter Biden.
Yes.
So really, you know, you don't have a leg to stand on, and I do not understand how you become the darling of the West. Because, well, I do understand because it's through MSM promotion, propaganda, and governments turning a blind eye because they really want to get rid of Russian man bad. Putin! And that's it, because Russian man bad actually hasn't said that many things that we disagree with, but he says a lot that the West disagree with because he just doesn't go down their narrative.
Yeah, but then again, at the same time, I feel obliged to say that I do not support Russian man, just as much as I do not support Ukraine man. I don't support any government. There's no government in this world that I support. You
can say what you like, right? It doesn't matter if you support them or not. The circumstances of this are that the West has picked a country that is inherently corrupt and debased.
Yes.
To support in a fight against another country that really hasn't done that much wrong in the world, in world terms, in the last 70 years. It hasn't had 201 military incursions on foreign soil like some other big country has, and then that big country is completely devoid of any sense of irony when they say, well, we can't have people going in and just making borders up arbitrarily. Can we? Oh, of course we can't, because that's the job of Team America World Police.
And that leads us to our next question from Snow Serpent here at Paragoon 101 on Twitter, who says, how many Russians need to die in Iran's proxy war?
Well, that's a damn good question, isn't it? Because it's like the Ukrainians again. They've jumped onto what what's been called the West proxy war with Russia, and now they're trying to turn the narrative round because this is Iran. I mean, and it's like, really? This is what you think? This isn't Iran's proxy war with Ukraine.
I don't know.
I mean, the whole thing's meant. Ukrainians are mad people. Are this? Well, right. I'll rephrase that. The Ukrainian government are mad and desperate people. They really are.
Mm-hmm. They are. They are indeed.
And speaking of mad and desperate people, what's
he
this
done
clown
now?
doing? Oh, he's going to write a book. He's publishing a book.
Can't wait
A
to buy
message
it.
from Ukraine, right? A message from Ukraine is set for release in December.
Yep.
Okay? And yes, you can make this shit up because it's all made up. It's going to be released in the US, the UK, and the EU with proceeds to benefit President Zelensky's charitable fund. Now, I don't know what the status of President Zelensky's charitable fund is and who it pays out to. Is it similar to Mr. Bose? I don't know.
Well, we don't know. That's the thing.
Well, that is the thing, because we don't know about Mr. Bo's charity because it's still not appeared. Where is this charity?
Yeah, I'm
It's had at least 12k donated to it.
I'm looking for this charity as well, Mr. Bo. If you'd like to tell us where this charity is, we would very much we'd have that conversation, wouldn't we? We've invited him several times now.
We have invited them several times. Now let's get away from these clowns.
Let's move on to a tweet from a
Ukraine.
friend of ours, shall we? A friend and colleague, stopcommonpass.org. So he says here, what we are hoping to do is gather the medical records of everybody in the world so we can start to predict before diseases and conditions even happen. Wow.
No, I don't think.
Wow.
I don't think I would trust my medical records with that.
No.
Do you?
No. 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 No.
Particularly given what's happened in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, do you remember when AIDS was a big thing, right?
I mean, not so much because I'm only in my 30s.
Yeah, okay, but AIDS was a big thing, and then people started saying things like, don't go and get an AIDS test.
Right.
Not to me, because I had no reason to get an AIDS test.
Yeah.
People would say generally to people, don't go and get an AIDS test, because if you get an AIDS test and your insurance company finds out, now this applies mainly to America, and your insurance company finds out, then your insurance premiums suddenly skyrocket. Because you've gone for an AIDS test, they assume one, your sexual proclivity, right?
Yeah.
They assume your persuasion, and they assume that you're promiscuous, and they think your chance of catching AIDS has gone through the roof, and they skyrocket your what would you call it? Premiums.
Fantastic.
So what would happen here? You know? And,
Well-
and well, the same thing could happen here, because let's face it, the NHS isn't going to continue to exist as it is for much longer, is it?
Well, especially if the Conservatives continue to sell it off bit by bit while saying that they're not selling it off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for those who would say, oh, they're not doing that, yes, they are. You know, the amount of stuff that I have done now that is provided by private providers. I mean, my pain management that I've been going through lately, all private, right?
Yeah.
It's all private companies now doing things. Scans I've been for recently, all provided by private companies. It is being sold off, just not in the sense of they're taking a big wedge of it and selling it. What they're doing is they're contracting services out. And you're right. At some point, it's no longer going to exist in the form it is, because it's going to become unsustainable and unaffordable.
And
So-
of course, they've started already, haven't they? They've started ramping up for the winter.
Yeah, of course they
So,
have.
so what are we seeing? We're seeing the same headlines again that was seen every year
Yeah,
since the year 2000.
Yeah, I mean, look at these. Look at these. We're looking at these right now. They're on screen for you. Take us through some of them, John.
Yeah, hospitals full to bursting as bed shortage hits danger level. That was 2012. 2014. More patients, overstretched doctors. Is the NHS facing a winter crisis? Is it?
I don't know, is it?
2016. Hospitals in England told to put operations on hold to free up beds.
Oh.
2018. NHS intensive care units sending patients elsewhere due to lack of beds. This is every year for the NHS.
It is.
Nothing changes.
And it always has been. And yet we're supposed to treat it like it's new. Every year. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's bedlam. It's madness.
Save the NHS.
Oh no, I don't understand why.
Clap like a seal. Save the NHS.
Yeah, but how many times can they cry this wolf? That's what I want to know.
They've been crying it every year for the last 20 years.
Yeah, of course they have, but people.
So they pretty much get away with it because
people have really short memories, don't they, John?
Well, I think it's worse than that. People have a thing, I think, called willful misremembering.
Yes, I would actually I would agree with you on that.
Because they do remember, and then they think, "Oh, that can't be right."
Is Mr. Drakeford in this list?
He might be.
Because
if not, you can bring him up at the end.
Okay, because that's a real good example of willful misremembering.
Yes, it is. It certainly is.
I mean, my God. Anyway, let's move on to Sky News here, who say weekly COVID deaths up by 40% in England and Wales. Okay, up by 40% in England and Wales. Okay, that sounds big.
That sounds horrific, doesn't it?
40% of what?
Well, these are the points that they're not really pointing out, right? So 400 people died across the 2 countries in the week leading up, right?
Okay.
Right, so 400 extra people in a week.
Are they extra?
Well, see, this is the problem, because if we go and look at Euromomo, which collates all the deaths and puts them against a 5-year trend, where's the excess deaths? Where are they? So, are they really COVID deaths, or are they deaths from other things? Or if people are dying from COVID, are they not dying from other things? Because there's no excess deaths. Where's the excess deaths?
No, you're absolutely right. And you know what? There are people on. I mean, we don't like to pick sides. We don't like to say we're on a side, but there are people on what you would term your side or the freedom side or whatever that are playing this up as well, aren't they? They're hamming this up as well, and it helps absolutely nobody. It helps nobody to be doing this. It helps nobody to be panicking, and it really does.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole basis of well, let's bring back John Blow's last movie, the Oracle Films production.
Yeah.
The interview with Asim Malhotra and whatever, and they seem to be suggesting that there are a large number of excess deaths due to certain treatments. Okay. But the data at the moment doesn't back that up, because there's no excess deaths.
No, I guess when it was filmed in May, yes, there was.
Yes, there were excess deaths in May. Yeah.
But at this point, through the summer, excess deaths have gone off a cliff.
Yeah, well, they've really dropped, and I mean, they dropped in the other 3 countries very, very rapidly and remained flat for almost all the summer. England had a little bit of a peak, about 5 or 6 weeks ago. But why haven't we had a big rise? Because we haven't stopped treating, and people are still going on about it.
Actually, no. See, this is where me and you are going to differ, because why officially we haven't stopped treating? You're right.
Mm-hmm.
No fucker's going to get it anymore, and excuse the language. People don't want it past their 3rd, past their 4th. People have had enough. Many
people have had 6.
Some people have, yeah, some people have, and the elderly especially will just keep going for it. No matter what you say to them, no matter what you do, they will keep going and they will keep going. And you know what we've always said on this channel, and I always said back when I was an individual, you do what you want when it comes to your body, right? It's your body, your choice, and it's the way it has to be, not just with this, but with anything. When it comes to an invasive procedure or anything to do with your body, there should be absolutely no discrimination on you making a choice for your body, no matter what that choice is. There never should have been. But at the end of the day, that's why I have to push back on you a little bit, because I don't see the queues for the centre anymore. Like I go past our treatment centre all the time.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, you've seen pictures of people queuing in the street recently, and that's still not been replicated in any kind of data that would show additional deaths.
No, okay. So what?
So I mean, the difference is I'm looking at raw data that's provided to Euromomo that just death. It's not, we're not classifying it as anything. We're just looking for deaths and we're looking for excess.
Right.
And that's the difference, right? I'm not trying to break it down. I'm not trying to be smart with it.
Yeah.
All I want to know is, are we running below, above, or at average death? And at the moment, we seem to be running below.
Yeah, so we are currently, actually, if you look at the very end of the line, we are in a dip.
Yeah,
we are
in a dip.
And that is the summer effect, as far as I'm concerned. That happens pretty much every summer.
It does.
Because what happens is we get very low deaths in the summer. In the warmer months, we get massive death in the excess in the winter, and then it sort of balances itself out. And that's the way it happens. I mean,
so we'd expect come the winter that deaths will increase, but
of course,
on average, they shouldn't. We shouldn't have excess deaths on average, because it takes that into account in the figures I'm looking at, right? So one would expect, if things don't change, if there's no extraneous factors, if there isn't a bad flu or something like that tends to pop people off, those deaths shouldn't really change. It should just stay flat. Now, that's not the case in Germany, though. In Germany, they're still running at excess death.
Which is very interesting, and not something that we could explain.
No, I don't know. I'm baffled.
Is there? I was going to say, is there a correlation between the amount of people getting things and their
you will do as you're told.
You will do as you're told. You will go to the center. You will get the needle. You will do as you're told. Yeah. Now let's move on. Let's
move on.
Let's go to the New York Post, the gift that keeps on giving.
So this is now. We don't have any money, so if you want to sue us, George Floyd's family, go ahead. But
sue him.
As far as I was aware, I thought the Talks report said that George Floyd had an incredible amount of drugs in his system.
I couldn't confirm or deny that because I didn't read it.
Okay.
So, honestly, I couldn't tell you. But from what I understand, there are still many people saying that, including Candace Owens and, of course, Kanye West, who is being sued by the daughter of George Floyd for $250 million.
So why does she think that she's got a case here? Because I am convinced the Talks reports came back that there were high levels of drugs in his system.
Yeah,
are we just basing this on the word overdose and whether he did or didn't have that?
So what I'm imagining here is they've seen what's happened to Alex Jones.
Yeah, I think so.
And they've gone, we want some of that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened, mate. I think you hit it right on the bloody head.
Yeah, of course. And I don't know where this goes from here. He might just pay him off. I don't know. But remember, this George Floyd's daughter is someone that Kanye West has already given millions to and paid for the schooling of. And I don't know. Honestly, I just think it's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Where do we go from here? I guess if this actually goes to some kind of trial, we will stream it, we will watch it, and we will laugh.
Yes, we will.
Because
we shall laugh.
we shall laugh, because that's all we can do as the world falls to shite around us and everything burns down. We've got to laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if we don't laugh,
yeah,
we'll fall to shite with it, John.
yeah, we will. Speaking of laughs, New York's Greenwich Village is bringing their Halloween parade back this year.
Oh, fantastic.
That's nice, isn't it?
It is nice. It is very, very nice.
So they've cancelled it due to the previous pandemic, but they're bringing it back.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I thought you would be quite happy about that.
I am very happy about that.
McDonald's in America, and I don't know if it'll translate over here, but they're bringing back their buckets, their Halloween buckets for kids.
Oh, lovely. Are you saying?
Well, they're Happy Meals.
So McDonald's brings back iconic Halloween buckets for Happy Meals. That Twitter account there, Fast Food Alerts, has got Ronald McDonald as a little thumbnail there, avatar, if you will. Poor Ronald. I feel sorry for Ronald McDonald. They just cast him aside, didn't they? Just cast him out.
I'd like to see what Ronald's up to these days. We might find out at some point.
We may find out at some point what Ronald's up to these days. We shall keep digging into that, shall we, John?
Yeah. Let's carry on. So yes, where are we next?
Have you got something from my wife there?
Yes, I do actually. I meant to say this before I started the show. I've put this tweet up from your wife, and it's regarding your friend
Mark Drakeford.
Mark Drakeford, who's suddenly become the moral compass of Wales, despite having a son who is a convicted rapist.
Yeah, when she showed me this, this morning, right. He's standing there basically having to go at the Tories for their budget, and
he was fuming. He was literally shaking with rage.
He was, and like you say, giving the moral high ground, this, that, and the other. Ladies and gentlemen, what you have to remember is this. I put myself big screen for this because this is another rant. Okay, Mark Drakeford, Harold Bishop, if you will, the man that apparently locked himself in the shed, which was actually just a house at the bottom of his garden during the coof. He stopped you from buying your kids' toys at Christmas. They literally put tape over the toy aisle. You couldn't buy shoes. You couldn't buy clothes. You could buy vodka though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he literally stopped you from having Christmas unless you went on Amazon.
That's true.
This man has got the moral high ground. Really?
He doesn't have a leg to stand on, does he?
Oh my good God! How is this man still a freaking First Minister? How?
Well, because obviously, like Scotland, the people of Wales are terminally stupid.
Well, willful forgetfulness.
Yeah. Willful misremembering. Yeah.
What the hell? I mean, the man, like my wife tweeted here. Let's bring the tweet up. She said, "This man stopped you buying toys for your kids, seeing your loved ones, buying clothes or shoes in the winter." And he has the absolute
and he shut the border. He told people not to go across the
he
border,
did,
even for their work.
Don't come here to Wales. Don't come here.
And don't leave Wales.
Because if they did go across the border, they had significantly more freedom.
Yes.
And basically, what he didn't want to do is for them to see it's like Bullseye. Do you remember Bullseye, the TV show? With bring it out, boys. We'll show you what you could have had. Bring it out. No, you can't. Take it back. Can't have that. What an absolute sanctimonious, hypocritical piece of garbage. Let's move on.
Right, we've all heard about the BBC's secret scripts.
We have at this point.
But let's actually go back to where this whole thing originated, these blackouts that are coming in the winter, right? First of all, nobody said they were going to have blackouts in the winter, right?
No.
Because what happened was the energy company said there may be a chance of blackouts given an unfortunate circumstance of unlikely events were to occur, you know, I mean, the whole thing is blown out of all proportion completely. Yeah. I mean, it's complete madness. So, yeah, bear me in mind, though, that I think now there will be blackouts during the winter because they've seen the way the population's reacted to this, and the government's gone, wow. More control mechanisms. We'll give them blackouts during the winter and then see how they get on. And I think they will happen now.
See, I'm on the fence here, but the BBC here preparing secret scripts for possible use in winter blackouts. Let me just
hold on a second though. One, why would they need to be secret? Right. Two, how are they going to transmit them?
Well, that's what I was about to ask. If so, the blackouts occur. What the BBC going to sit there in a dark studio, just talking to a dead camera, going, "Ladies and gentlemen, it appears we are in a blackout right now." They sit there talking to themselves. or what is it? They're gonna go on air at the 1 p.m. news and go, "Planned blackouts at 7 p.m. today."
So if they have blackouts, everybody loses the internet.
Yeah. Well,
so
unless you've got 5G.
Maybe not, because 5G uses a hell of a lot of power.
Yeah, that's true.
You've seen all that power.
That's true.
You've seen all that power around the 5G antennas, right? So if they can't keep them running and 5G, well, if 5G goes down, you realise that all the emergency service communications go down as well because they're all piggybacking off that now.
Yeah, no, so much would go wrong if there were blackouts.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that the emergency services had their own transmitters and their own network and everything, but not anymore. No. The emergency services is now piggybacked on the domestic telephone network, the domestic mobile telephone network. So what happens is in the event of a problem, they get priority, but if there's no service to them either.
No, you're absolutely right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, if you are watching this, no matter what platform you are on, and you are enjoying it, please leave a like and hit that share button. We would appreciate a share as well, no matter what platform you want to share it out on. As John would normally say, go and evangelize for us and help us grow this little seed into a massive tree. Also, if you want to go one further, then you can support us, and you can do so at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent or Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. And that little blue bar below me, if you support on Ko-fi, will give your personalised message live during the show. So
and that people was our shameless and pedestrian self-promotion.
It is our shameless and pedestrian self-promotion. And you don't
speaking
have to
of being speaking of being a shameless and shameless and selfish self-promoter, I didn't recognise this girl at first because she's smiling. I don't think I've ever seen her smile before. But anyway, so she was treated like a bimbo and objectified on Deal or No Deal.
Oh, really?
Hold on. Did you go into it asleep? Or did you behave like that off your own bat with no encouragement? Or was it maybe something that you thought, oh, I'm going to do this because it's a good laugh and I'll get paid loads of money and make myself famous?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But, you know, I don't like her.
I don't like her either.
But
maybe it's like Black History Month, you know, and maybe those authors aren't recognised not because they're not promoted or marketed wrongly. It's maybe because they're just rubbish.
Could well
and
be.
maybe you get treated like a bimbo because you are.
Well, you never know. You never know. But you know, just for saying that, she's the type of person that might try and sue you, John.
I really don't care. I have nothing, and you won't be happy.
Who's painted this red squirrel, John?
I have no fucking idea. I saw this on Twitter and I had to have it. Right? Because I thought...
Please do tell.
Well, this guy says, I've always wanted to paint a squirrel, so I thought I would paint a squirrel. He goes, "What do you think?" And I thought, I'm not even gonna start replying to that, because that to me is it's a demon squirrel. What's it like?
I quite like it. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's horrendous. Look at its little hands. It's like, there, we're ready. We're coming to get you. We're coming to get you, aren't we?
Well, it is spooky season, John.
Squirrel!
I don't understand. I don't understand the squirrel. I don't
understand the squirrel either. I just thought that's creepy. He also did a robin. I should have brought that as well.
Do you know what?
I think we might resurrect the bad art. If you've got any bad art, send me the bad art.
Yeah, send us over.
In fact, we could do the bad art on Friday nights.
And do you know what? I'm also thinking about toying with a little new segment, at least once a week, called the comments section, where we simply read out your comments.
That sounds a bit dodgy.
Good or bad.
That could get dangerous.
Could get dangerous, yeah. But Friday nights also, remember, Chasing Dissent All In is Friday nights at either 8 or 9. We haven't fully decided yet. But that's the off-the-chain show where we just laugh our way through everything. There's
last
no
week's
script.
was good. And last week's is in the process of being made into a podcast.
It is, yeah. I say there's no script. There's no script on any of these shows, but there's no list.
There's no script. No.
There's
so the next and last item, okay, isn't necessarily verified.
I don't know if I want to show them this, because I just saw it and I'm just giggling. It's too.
I don't care if it's real or not. I just found it incredibly funny, and even if it's only like 10% believable, wouldn't it be a scream?
Man digs 12-foot deep hole without realizing his metal detector was picking up his steel toe cap safety boots.
That would be so funny, wouldn't it?
It really would. That really would be funny if it were real.
And I like the way they've got a picture of a guy in the hole. I didn't realise my boots and steel toe caps.
Oh dear.
Stop digging! Stop digging!
Right, and with that, a little bit more housekeeping. If you are watching us on Twitch right now, then you may have seen last night that we started playing a game.
Yes, if you can call it that.
And we're also streaming that game out on our second channel, 100, that's the number 100, Acre Swamp. We are playing Return to Monkey Island live at the moment, part 2, tonight at the time of recording this at 8 PM. We're doing it for my son, aren't we, John?
Yeah, we are, and I need to really stop swearing.
You do need to stop swearing. But if you want to join us in a little bit of normality and a bit of just everyday life fun, or just pop culture, we review movies over there. Travel, we vlog traveling and things like that over there, or parade shows, stuff like that we film. All goes up over on that channel. So if you want to come and join us in a more normal and less political or news-like setting, then 100 Acre Swamp over on YouTube, and on Twitch we just use the same channel. So we will be out at about 8 PM tonight, streaming that game, if you would like to join us for part 2. And the social commentary in that game, actually, John.
Oh yeah, I mean, the game's right on the money. Right on the money. It's quite hard hitting.
Yeah, it really is hard hitting, and so I think Ron Gilbert, who's made the game, is quite disillusioned with the state of the world right now.
Yeah, quite rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are. I'm very disillusioned with the state of the world, and I'm only in my 30s. I feel like, you know, the old man in the chair. Get off my lawn, and I feel those kids today.
Well, Vernon Coleman, the guy that dresses up as a woman at the weekends.
I mean, I didn't say that.
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to say that?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's the weekend. You can call me Mandy. I'm so in touch with my own sexuality that I'm quite comfortable wearing a gingham dress.
John, we have thumbnail pictures of me in a bra.
We do.
We do.
We do.
In fact, me in a bra.
That's because you're comfortable in your own sexuality as well,
Very
and
much
you
so.
could do with the support.
No, it's simply that, you know. I'm quite happy to do anything for a laugh.
Indeed.
I am.
Well, as can be seen by my attire today, I think I am too.
Yeah, I mean,
I could have put my hood up. I could just have put my hood up, couldn't I? And I could have become the Dark Lord.
Well, no, you'd have just looked like a hoodlum.
I might do that tomorrow.
You wouldn't have looked like a Dark Lord. You'd have looked like a hoodlum, John. You'd have.
I'll try it tomorrow and see if I do look like a hoodlum.
I think I quite like the bellhop hat look for the spooky season. I think it looks good. Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it makes your head hot though, doesn't it? Wearing the hat.
No, this one's not too bad because it's hollow. It's hollow.
Just like your head. You keep lining them up and I keep knocking them out the park.
When you have to do a show 5 days a week with this arsehole. You know.
Indeed.
Indeed. Right, I think with that, John, shamelessly sell us one more time and we will get out of here.
People, we need you. We need your help. We need you to like, share and subscribe on YouTube. We need to build numbers.
We do.
Please.
Please.
Your urgent participation is required. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go there and like us. Then, if you really like us, you can consider a donation. A donation of any amount whatsoever, as long as it's at least a $5 to kofi.com/Chasing Dissent or patreon.com/Chasing Dissent. Do it. Do it now. We need you.
And in answer to the question in the chat, what time is the show tomorrow? This week, all this week, and probably every week from now on, we are live at 2 p.m. Monday to Friday for this show, and then we do some evening shows sometimes as well.
We like to keep you on your toes.
We do. Let's get out of here, John.
No, thank you. Thank you, people.
Close the show, John. Go on. You can do it. I believe in you. You've got one shot to close this show.
And with that, I'd like to thank you one and all for attending this episode 144 of Chasing Dissent Live. It's been good, and I'm sure you've loved it.
That was bloody awful, John.
Thanks, Ben.
I'm embarrassed for you right now.
No, you're not.
Bye now.
Bye.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy.
Stop playing with my bust!
Good night, everybody.
Good night, children. Good night, Daddy.
You're a what?
A pianist!
Mwah! Good night, everybody.
You have been a delightful audience. Good night. Thank you.
Oh, my bottom hurts. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Tim Bob.
Oh, I did love that hamster so. I took it into bed with me every night, you know.
Good night, everybody.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to go now. I've been standing here for a very long time. I think the end of the show must have come and gone.
There you go. That's our solar system. You forgot Uranus. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening. You've been very nice to work.
Good night, Tim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.